Here we go. Ooh, crab got you. Oh, what is that? Lizard? Well, why are you jumping if you calling them over? Uh, it's time to go get that pow pow. He thinks it's a real bun. There you go. Oh, what was that? Uh, okay, yeah, I'm out. The chicken, though. What is happening? Oh, no. Oh, no. Just step on him. Oh, no. Not me. Oh, no. A Texas Longhorn. Oh. Buffalo Bill got you. Don't worry about it. What are you doing? It's a chicken. Right. Now, High Needle, ma'am, he's going to strike. Well, you punt. What was the end result, sir? Oh, all right. That's good. That's good. What up, everybody? The blacksmith is in the hizzy. It is our Saturday bars. No, I'm just kidding. It's Saturday. So you know it's a financial topic. You know I'm only rolling with the blacksmith t-shirt. Um, Good news. We got some new ones coming in. The front is going to say, what do you do with your 62? And then it's going to have CMD, creativity, motivation, and drive. Y'all will see those soon because I will be sporting them. And if you want them, they will be on sale. Just cash at me which one you actually want and your size and how many. Obviously, $40 a shirt because I have to make some money off of this. Let's get TikTok off of the screen because this is not going to be what we talk about today. We have a serious topic, and you already know Robinhood came in with the call, so we's got to break it down. So let's go without further ado. Like we see that it's an hour and 32. I'm just kidding. I just tried to make it rhyme. I don't have bars. Financial bars, but not bars. All right, let's get this show on the road. Let's see. When they start reading the disclaimer, the stuff is coming, but I'm not sitting here waiting for the whole. All right, come on. Yeah, I figured at least 5 minutes. See, so we're already chopping down the time. I just don't want it to go into the earnings call yet. Don't go into the numbers yet. See, hour and 20. Here we go. If you've done a couple of these, you already know. I'm on it. I'm on it. Earnings call, fourth quarter, 2025. Okay, it's going to start right here.
Vlad and Shiv will offer opening remarks and then open the call to Q&A.
All right, Vlad and Shiv. So we're going to hear from the CEO, Vladimir Tenev, and we're going to hear from the new CFO. Remember, Jason Warnick is now out, and Shiv, can't remember his last name, but Shiv is in.
During the Q&A portion of the call, we will answer questions.
Can't have no chat lips on screen. Y'all don't mind me.
Finance content creators who may hold an ownership position in Robinhood, and both institutional
That's
and
me.
retail shareholders. As a reminder, today's call will contain forward-looking statements. Actual results could differ materially from our current expectations. We may not provide updates unless legally required.
Yeah, let's like this.
Potential risk factors that could cause differences, including regulatory developments that we continue to monitor, are described in the press release we issued today, the earnings presentation, and our SEC filings, all of which can be found at investors.robinhood.com.
Let's turn this up so y'all can hear this.
Today's discussion will also include non-GAAP
get your
financial
pen
measures. Reconciliations to the
paper,
GAAP measures we consider
turn
most
your
directly
brains
comparable
on.
can be found in the earnings
Um,
presentation.
you should
With
have
that, please
questions.
welcome Vlad and Shiv.
Don't squander this earnings call now. Now, I know this is live on, but nobody's on Discord today. Let's go, Shiv. Vlad with the
Hello,
long
everyone.
hair.
It's great to speak with you today. We're back with a live audience, this time from our global headquarters in Menlo Park. And for the first time with Shiv as CFO.
That's right.
Following in Jason's big footsteps.
That's
Welcome,
right.
Shiv.
Thank you.
That's right. And he came on to introduce himself last time.
Great to see all the shareholders and institutional analysts in the audience. So let's get right into it, shall we? So as a reminder, we're focused on...
Sorry. Happy Valentine's Day, folks. That's probably why nobody's on here today. Happy Valentine's Day, but the show must continue. I appreciate you. Love you. Let's get it.
On our three-part strategy. Number one in active traders. Number one in wallet share for the next generation. And our long-term arc, number one global financial ecosystem. Looking back on 2025, it was an incredible year of incredible product velocity across all three of our arcs. First, active traders. We want active traders to feel like they're at a disadvantage trading anywhere but Robinhood.
That's right.
It's a big priority for us, and we're seeing big
I don't even
results.
trade.
In Q4, prediction markets volumes doubled, more than doubled yet again, with over 12 billion contracts traded in 2025, which is the first full year of prediction markets.
Good God.
Customers have already traded over 4 billion so far in 2026, so we're seeing the momentum continue. We also expanded our equities offering with the launch of shorting. We love giving our customers more tools to navigate the markets, and we see them responding.
I got in on prediction markets twice in the past year. He said the first full year, he's right, because they started prediction markets with the 2024 election. He's with the election, right? So November, yeah, because it was November that year, right? So they started prediction markets with that. I bet on the election, won that one. And then the last prediction markets I took part in was the Super Bowl. The Seahawks won. I won that one. I don't do sports investing or whatever. He has a term for it, and I love it, but I just can't remember because whatever.
For 11 billion of equity notional volume in the first couple of months since shorting went out. Second, wallet share. We continue to make progress building out our financial super app and becoming our customers' primary and secondary financial account. So a lot of attention typically goes to our active trading offerings, and it should, but we've also been making a ton of progress broadening our offering and attracting more long-term investing to the platform. Over 40% of our total assets are now across ETFs, advisory, retirement, and cash. So it's great to see customers trusting us with more of their financial lives. Robinhood Gold Card up over 5x in 2025 to 600,000 customers.
Let's go.
It's reached over 10 billion in annualized spend. Customers love the product. They love the 3% rewards, but also the intuitive user experience, the metal card,
First 100,000
card, and capabilities like virtual and single-use cards and all the family features.
That's right.
As we've been rolling out the card, we built increasing confidence in the economics. So we plan to continue accelerating the rollout, more than doubling the amount of customers with gold cards this year to well over 1 million by the end of the year. Robinhood Banking. So we began the rollout of Robinhood Banking in the past few months. Customers are really excited about this. We're building the kind of banking experience that was once limited to the ultra wealthy. Strong early results with our initial over 25,000 funded customers who've brought in over 400 million in balances. And perhaps the thing that gets me most excited, over 50% of our funded customers using banking have enrolled in direct deposit.
There we go.
As we look at this, it makes us more confident that we're achieving product market fit with this offering. Now,
let me tell you something. I love Navy Federal. I've never had my direct deposit going to USAA, but I also have USAA. But I will tell you right now, Robinhood opens up banking, Lord have mercy. I think I might do my direct deposit there. I'm not even playing. Logistically, I would have to move payments to come in from over here to over here. I might not move my mortgage. Uh, yeah, I might move my mortgage actually. If I move my mortgage, I'll pretty much move everything. Or either I would have to do like let the direct deposit come from Robinhood, but then put an allotment over the Navy Fed for you get what I'm saying, but I think I might just switch over. Eventually, I'm going to be a Robinhood banker. I'm going to tell you that right now. I love Navy Federal. They offer a lot. They offer low prices on things, but um, it just makes sense. And one thing I'm going to ask Robinhood that I didn't ask is, can they do a budgeting like app like Mint, right? Where you can track all of your expenses, you can categorize them, and so it will help people in what's coming in and what's going out, earnings versus expenses.
Third arc, global financial ecosystem, our long-term arc.
Let's
We're
get through
making
this
good
video.
early progress as we expand to different markets across the world. Bitstamp continuing to scale, volumes up 2x since we closed in June.
Let's go.
Bitstamp product and engineering teams have been humming, so it's great to see so much progress here. We're also making progress expanding internationally, now with three quarters of a million customers outside the US. Just last week, we launched ISAs in the UK, which is the local tax advantage account in the UK. And this was actually the top request from our UK customers, so really excited to deliver it for them. I'm excited to watch these businesses scale as we launch in more and more new jurisdictions and we round out the product offerings. I think in a couple of years, we're going to look back and we'll really have underestimated how big our international business can be. Now, taking all this together, our relentless product velocity has driven another strong year of results. Strong double-digit year-over-year market share gains across equities, options, crypto, and margin, which, by the way, includes positive net transfers, positive inflows from all of our major brokerage competitors for the last 8 quarters in a row, which is pretty amazing there.
Get it.
I think we've got a lot
2
of
years
headwinds here. Our customers grow faster than the industry. We continue to deliver new products, new capabilities, and we're seeing our customers continuing to trust us with more and more
Do like the blacksmith does. Take notes. You see me looking down. That's what I'm doing.
of their financial lives. So total platform assets grew nearly 70% year over year to $324 billion. Net deposits, a record $68 billion, which is a 35% growth rate. Gold subscribers grew nearly 60% year over year, Shiv, 4.2 million. So revenues, putting it all together, which were less than $3 billion a year ago, grew to $4.5 billion in 2025. So it's great to see that 50 plus percent revenue growth for the second straight year. So quite amazing. So before I get into our 2026 roadmap, which should be very fun, I'll turn it over to Shiv to walk through more of the business and financial results.
Let me pause it right here. Before CFO does his thing, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I'm gonna go with Robinhood, but I'm not gonna do earnings call. Let's do stock. So Robinhood, a year ago, Robinhood had 16% growth. So look right here in October 8th, there's another tick right here. I'm not going to fight with this all day. I can't get it to stop. All right, whatever. We're going to go with October 8th. $150. As a matter of fact, let's look at the 52-week high down here. Look right here. 153.86. That's that tick I keep trying to get on the graph. That's what it is. 153.86 was the 52-week high. That was the 52-week high, folks. The 52-week low was $29.66. Do you see Robinhood going back to $29? No, you don't. But from the 52-week high, it's 50% off right now, like 52% down. If you are not buying Robinhood right now, okay, so before, like 2 years ago, they probably had a price target of 150, right? Now, the end of this year, they'll probably get back to 150 or somewhere along the lines of that. But in the next 2 years, they're probably going to 250, 300. Robinhood does not play. So what does that mean for you? That means they deliver equity. I'm going to tell you that right now. So, oh man, I missed it because you were saying you bought it at $7, $9. Well, that's when it IPO'd. It was 40 something and then fell off the face of the earth in 2021. But you weren't buying it then. Don't worry about the $7. Don't worry about the $9. You can't get it at 29. But what you can be doing is putting $50 into it right now and dollar cost averaging your way in right now. Put $20 a week. That's $80 a month. Can you spare that much? Because if you could spare $80 a month right now, you could get a share every month. You need to get in where you can get in, but I'm telling you right now is prime pickings. And let's say it goes lower. Let's say it falls to $50. You know what you do then? You buy even more then. Because it'll bring your average where you bought at 70, you bring it lower, your average lower towards the 50. That means when it goes up to 300, you earn more equity per share. So before Shiv gives his numbers, I just wanted to tell you that right now is an excellent time to buy Robinhood. Robinhood does not play around. They are an equity deliverer because listen to all the numbers they're delivering to the people. Anyway, let's let Shiv go ahead and jump in here. I'm anxious to hear from him.
All right.
Over to you, sir.
I need to give me one of those cups. I don't even drink coffee.
For my first earnings calls. To get started, there's 3 key takeaways I want to get across. First, 2025 was a record year for Robinhood, with strong growth and profitability. We had records across net deposits, gold subscribers, revenue, adjusted EBITDA, and EPS, just to name a few. All of this was driven by incredible product velocity and our relentless focus on efficiency. And we also finished the year strong with a record Q4. Revenues and adjusted EBITDA were both records, and 2026 is off to a good start. Now, second, our business continues to diversify. We're now up to 11 businesses with over $100 million in annualized revenue.
Nice.
And several more are making great progress.
Nice.
Including Robinhood Legend, which is really close, and the Gold Card, which is on track for this year.
All right, so if y'all don't know what he's talking about here, I'm not going to pause it unless I have something big to say because this video is way too long for that. But they're a business, right? They're a for-profit business. This is why they're publicly traded on the stock market. Now, non-for-profit businesses, 501c3s, they are not on the stock market publicly traded. What businesses do that are going to be successful is they realize that they cannot do everything. So if they want to, so they have these board meetings about what they want to expand their business to, right? And they wanted to expand the crypto. So instead of them creating a whole new division and a whole new team that's looking and doing all crypto, they looked at what business out there was smaller than them, but was doing what they wanted to do, or they could get them to do what they wanted to do more easily because they already have 80% of what they want in place. That was Bitstamp. They acquired that around July, August last year. So they acquired Bitstamp. Now they have their crypto division. Now with a little innovation, Bitstamp is where they need it to be. And now Bitstamp is a part of Robinhood. It's another route now in Robinhood that's helping Robinhood trunk go pushing up like a sequoia, like a redwood. So that's what he's talking about. They have several businesses. They don't only have 10 businesses underneath the tree as roots. They have 10 of them that are making 100 million or more is what he was saying. And several others that are on pace to do so. That's what he's talking about. It's important you understand how for-profit businesses work.
Additionally, trade PMR, futures, Index options and Robinhood banking are all scaling really nicely. And third, in 2026, we plan to ramp up our product velocity even faster while delivering another year of profitable growth. There is a massive opportunity in front of us, and we see the path to compound shareholder value for years to come.
Good.
All right, so let's review 2025 results, and this is all compared to last year. First, revenues were a record $4.5 billion, up 52% year over year, as Vlad said, and
Good.
up over three
Yeah.
times in the past 3 years.
Mm.
Adjusted EBITDA was also a record of $2.5 billion, and that was up 76%. And adjusted EBITDA margins were also a new high of 56%. We also delivered incremental adjusted EBITDA margins above 70% for the third straight year.
Nice.
And at the same time, we managed our share count closely, leading to record EPS of $2.05. And our philosophy is that the denominator matters. And over time, managing the share count closely should deliver value to shareholders. So let's look at Q4, and this is all compared to last year as well. First, revenues grew 27% to a record $1.3 billion as our customers remain engaged and continue to trust Robinhood with even more of their assets. Net deposits continue to be
He's right. They are delivering so much to the people. The people are remaining loyal to Robinhood, and we do ask a lot of questions. I wish y'all are on those earnings calls, like the upcoming earnings calls. Look at all the questions that the people are asking. Like, they are super, super excited about Robinhood.
robust with 16 billion of net deposits in Q4. That's our 8th straight quarter with over 10 billion of net deposits. And trading volumes grew to new highs across equities, options, futures, and event contracts as we continue to win market share and saw record net buying from our customers.
True.
Now, interest earning assets were also up 39%, driven by strong growth in the cash sweep program, margin, and our credit card loan book, as we continue to win larger customers and deepen relationships with existing customers. Margin in particular has been great. It's up over 100% in the past.
I bet it is.
And Robinhood Gold, that also grew 58% to a record 4.2 million subscribers.
So margin is something that's very important, right? Borrow on margin. What is he talking about? Borrow on margin is so like, let's say you have $10,000 in Robinhood in buying power. They will give you an extra $10,000 to invest. That's why margin isn't. That's what margin is. Yeah.
Bro, what are you
talking
talking
about, bro? Yeah, borrow on margin. If you put 50 grand in there, they'll give you another 50 grand to invest, and you'll be like, be smart with margin, because remember, you're playing with house money, and when you're playing with house money, if you lose it, you have to pay it back. That's swiping somebody else's credit card. So you bet, the house always wins. You better know what you're doing when it comes to investing. For the average person, I wouldn't say borrow on margin. Learn what you're doing first. That's all you have to do. Learn what you're doing first. Do not try to expand too quickly. But we'll get back to what's saying. I don't know what the rate of interest on the margin is. Let me do that on my phone. Let me let Shiv have the floor back.
We think gold is the best deal in financial services, and we're going to keep adding to its value prop. And on expenses, Q4 adjusted OPEX plus SBC was $597 million, as we manage expenses to approximately $15 million below our latest outlook. All right, so let's move to 2026.
Let's go.
As we built our annual plan, there were 3 areas that we focused on. First, we want to continue accelerating our product velocity. Customers are responding incredibly well to our new product initiatives. We're gaining market share, launching innovative products, and entering new markets. We believe shipping even more products and value to customers can deliver outsized growth for years to come. Second, we aim to deliver another year of 20% plus net deposit growth. This year, we reached nearly a third of $1 trillion in assets across the platform.
All right, while he's talking, margin rates are as such. Can y'all see that? That's kind of blurry. No. Come on, Logitech. Maybe it's because my screen is shiny, but if you have less than 50,000, your interest rate on margin is 5%. You know what? Let me let Shiv talk. I'll type it in chat, and you guys can see it on the camera.
and we're well on our way to exceeding $1 trillion of assets in the coming years with our rapid product velocity and the $100 trillion plus generational wealth transfer already underway. And third, we built our plan to deliver another year of profitable growth. Even as we invest for growth, much like the robust revenue growth we've seen over the past few years, we are staying lean and disciplined in the way we allocate capital and operate as a business. So to our expense outlook, for 2026, our outlook for adjusted OpEx and SBC is in a range of 2.6 to 2.725 billion. This translates to an 18% year-over-year expense growth at the midpoint, which is below the 22% growth rate we managed to in 2025 on a comparable basis. So just to give you a little bit more color on how we built the plan, the 18% expense growth is in 3 areas. First, about 5 percentage points of that growth is going into our existing businesses, net of any productivity improvements. These businesses drove the vast majority of our $1.5 billion of revenue growth in 2025, and we want to keep scaling them and gaining market share. Second, about 3 percentage points are from the full year cost effect of our 2025 acquisitions of Bitstamp and Trade PMR. Now, these expenses will also come with the full year effect on revenue growth as well. And third, about 10 percentage points, or more than half of the 18% growth, is into new and scaling businesses.
What up?
This is our biggest area of investment as we continue to accelerate product velocity. Now, some of these investments include the Robinhood Gold Card, Robinhood Banking, Strategies, Prediction Markets, Cortex,
Robinhood earnings call. That's what's up.
Social, Robinhood Ventures, the Robinhood Chain, tokenized real-world assets, and continuing international expansion. It's a pretty long list.
That's right.
And as a reminder, we underwrite all investments to strong ROIs, and we'll stay nimble as we execute against our plan.
Okay.
And as I said at the outset, we'll continue to be lean and disciplined in the way we allocate and operate. So before turning it back to Vlad, I also just want to share a little bit of what we're seeing in the strong momentum into 2026.
Good morning. Good morning.
As you saw in the release, in January, equity trading volumes were up over 50% year over year, and options volumes were up 20%.
Yeah.
We also had all-time highs in net buying, event contracts, futures, and margin. And while it's early, so far in February, the average daily trading volumes are up across all categories versus January levels. And Q1 net deposits are also off to a good start, with $7 billion plus so far in the quarter, including over $2 billion last week. So it's fantastic to see customers engaged to start the year. Putting it all together, we are incredibly excited about our plan and momentum entering 2026 as we work to drive another year of profitable growth. The team continues to ship for customers, and our financial North Star remains the same: maximize earnings per share and free cash flow per share for shareholders over time.
Y'all heard that last piece? Y'all heard that last piece? Maximize earning per share, and then I blanked out on the other piece. Listen, I can get jiggy with it, in the words of Will Smith. Earnings per share. So listen, like I said right now, and we were talking about this in the Discord. If you are not a part of the Discord, I don't know why. If you're a part of someone else's Discord, like Earn Your Leisure or like Aristotle, I don't think they have one. But okay, cool. But if you're not and you're just out there guessing, get Discord, look up the Blacksmith Podcast server, and get in here and start learning. Because we talked about this last week. But if you look right here, so the 52-week high for Robinhood, or Hood as the ticker is, it's 153.86. This stock right now is about 52% down from its 52-week high. That is a phenomenal entry point. So their goal for the stock before was like, their target was like 150. They met the target. For the next year or two, the target might be 300. I haven't heard them say it yet. But if they give the target might be 300. Now, we know what kind of return Robinhood has been given. Robinhood has been up over probably 200% return the last 2 years. right? Now, that's not a sustainable model. However, would they be up over 30% in a year? Absolutely, I would say yes, right? So their next price target for the next 2 years might be 300. If you got, who cares if you didn't get in at the 52-week low at $29? If you can get in at 75.97 and you have 100 shares and that thing goes to $300, do you understand what you just done did? Done did. I said it. Anyway, let's get back to, so Shiv CFO on the right, he took over for Jason Warnick, and Vlad Tenev with the long hair is about to take back over. We about to get jiggy with it. Chat, if you have anything to ask, go ahead and do that. But that's all I hear when they talk.
If you're starting to get a taste of what this killer next to me can do in the CFO position.
You can get a taste.
Very excited. We compromised, by the way. Shiv prefers to stand, so we decided to do half the earnings call seated and half standing. All right. Just over a year ago, we shared with you our 10-year vision for Robinhood at our Investor Day in New York City. We were excited about it back then, felt it was very ambitious, but I think in hindsight, we realized we underestimated what we could do in 1 year, not to mention 10 years. So today, I'm going to tell you what we have planned for in 2026.
I had to run off camera real quick, but I heard what just happened. I heard what he said. Look at what a company it must be. What a time it must be to work for this company, right? One of the most important people in the company is going to be your CFO, your money man, right? Your chief financial officer. Now, if you're a tech company, so you always have to pay attention to new kids on the block, right? Before, there were banking sectors, there's all kinds of sectors, right? Healthcare sector, all kinds of stuff, right? The new kid on the block way back in the 80s was tech, right? And those for like 20, 30 years, I'd say 30, almost 40 years, were the companies that if you wanted to, they had the most growth, the most promise. So if you wanted to be, if you wanted your market share to go up, if you wanted to grow fast, you had to have some kind of tech component to your business. This guy right here, Vlad Tenev, at a conference a month or two ago, and I said this because Earn Your Leisure was talking about it too. He said that in the next 5 years, if you want to be successful, your business now needs to have an AI component to it, right? They are considered fintech, financial technology, right? And I almost said I completely forgot where I was going with this. I was about to be very transparent with y'all. Y'all know I only have about 4 months left of my not so dirty 30, so I'm getting old. But anyway, so with him, he just told you that Shiv likes to stand. So instead of making fun of him and making a joke, the man grabbed the mic, stood up, and said, "We're going to do the second half of this thing standing." I think that is amazing. That's good showmanship, but it's good leadership too, because as a leader, if one of your, I'm going to take from the Navy, right? If one of your sailors comes to talk to you and you're sitting at the desk and there's a chair there, but they don't sit down, they're standing and their postures kind of work, I stand up, right? Or if they come to me to talk and they sit down and they're kind of like, while they're telling me something, I sit down, right? You mirror their posture. I think that's just a good communication. I think that's just good communication. So soft skill. Anyway, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this.
And we're by no means complacent. This is going to be an ambitious plan. As we continue to execute, Robinhood will become increasingly synonymous with the financial service category of the financial super app. So let's get right into it, starting with what we're doing for active traders. Now, I'm not going to go into every little detail of the roadmap. I'm going to prefer to focus on areas that are particularly meaningful and maybe surprising.
Sorry, y'all see social tracking right there? Now he's talking about active traders. Remember they talked about Robinhood socials. That's one thing to keep your eye on. And somebody asking the question, so I'm gonna write that down right now and see when that's coming out.
So prediction markets, fastest growing business in our history, 300 million plus run rate in its first year. I think we're just at the beginning of a prediction market super cycle that could drive trillions in annual volume over time. This year is going to be a big year. Olympics are going on right now.
That's right.
World Cup coming
That's
in
right.
the summer. Continued growth in the non-sports categories. And of course, our Roth era, which is our JV with Susquehanna coming online. Growth of prediction markets has also led to a greater focus on our app design and personalization. We've been adding so many new products, so many account types, lots more capabilities that it's becoming increasingly important to personalize and continue to chisel the user interface, making sure we're putting the right things in front of the right customers. Now, many of you have already noticed the work that we've put in here in the past few months through changes to the home interface, search and discover, as well as notifications.
Yep.
This year, you should see this accelerate with more personalization, better cross-asset linking between equities, crypto, and prediction markets, and us continuing to experiment to ensure that our user experience remains top-notch. Then, Cortex. Two big things. Cortex Assistant in the main app, and the goal is to become the best AI for all of your financial needs. Cortex for Legend, to use an analogy, think of Cortex for Legend being to active traders what Cursor is to software engineers. We think it has the potential to completely transform trading, and we're right at the frontier there. Both are rolling out in the coming weeks and months and scaling throughout the year. Robinhood Social. So Robinhood Social
There we
will
go.
start rolling out to the first customers very soon. We're really excited about how it will drive discovery and engagement. We're going through internal testing, and we actually just added support for prediction markets into Robinhood Social, and it's looking really good. As we progress throughout the year, I think it will be increasingly obvious that active traders are at a disadvantage using any other platform.
That's right.
Turning to wallet share. Now, as a reminder, this is about transitioning from serving predominantly traders to serving all of our customers' financial needs. Two big strategic moves that we're making this year that I'm particularly excited about. The first one, we're calling it family investing. Robinhood should be better for you when more of your family members are on the platform.
That's right.
This year, it'll really become a multi-generational platform. Now, this vision really started with a credit card, which was our first family product. It continued with banking, which is also a first-class family experience. And in 2026, you'll see us bring it to our investing products. Our referral program for advisors is also going live this year, which will connect our customers to high-quality RIAs, which are powered by Trade PMR, to help them with their comprehensive financial needs. And we believe we can be the major beneficiary of the 100 trillion plus wealth transfer. And we've got some really exciting things to unveil coming on this front at our big event next month in New York City. So stay tuned for that. Second big thing, private markets. Now, you may have heard me say opening up private markets not only can resolve one of the greatest iniquities in capital markets, but also can be a huge accelerant to our mission as well as our business. This begins with Robinhood Ventures. And Robinhood Ventures, for those of you unfamiliar, will invest in private assets that are often out of reach for retail investors. And these will be packaged in registered funds that we can offer to US retail investors. I think this will be a transformative offering. Outside of the US, our customers in Europe got a little taste last year of private company stock tokens with our OpenAI and SpaceX stock token giveaways. More to come on that front soon. And now we think private markets could become even bigger than prediction markets. And I'm really excited about what we're building here. Finally, building the number one global financial ecosystem.
Stop. Breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. All right. First of all, now he talked about private markets. Let me jump in here. All right. So Now this was something that I think we've been blowing the trumpet on since last year. We have been on top of this because remember, in order to we're only dealing with IPOs or public offering, publicly traded companies here, right? Robinhood is publicly traded. He's talking about privately owned companies, private companies. They haven't gone public yet. And one of the biggest issues with public to private is that once that people who you can't invest in private companies unless you're an accredited investor, which we know, but I'm going to show it anyway in case you're new to watching this. You have to have a yes. I'm going to talk about that actually. First of all, actually, chat. Yes, I'm going to talk about that. So for an accredited
What did
investor,
he say?
what did I say? Was that a pause? I don't know what I said. But listen, in order to be an accredited investor, something's wrong with you, man. In order to be an accredited investor, you have to have a net wealth over 1 million, and it cannot be your primary residence cannot be a part of it, right? You have to earn 200K annually and be on pace to earn 200K. You have to earn 200K for 2 years in a row and be on pace to earn it for a third year, or 300K if you are married. Um, Yada yada. You can see all the stuff down here, but they want you to come with it in order to be an accredited investor. Why is that important? Because most people alive ever in the history of the world have not met these metrics, right? They're not going to meet this, right? So most people are locked out of the private sector when it comes to investing. However, when we found Boxable, that's why I was so hyped about it, because Boxable sold shares at 80 cents per, right? And that's what these private companies are doing. They're selling shares at $2, $3, 20 cents per share. And people are putting $20 million in it, right? At 20 cents per share, I could scrape together $10,000 from somewhere. I will beg, borrow, steal. I'm not gonna steal. I was kidding. I got ahead of myself. Steal, STEEL. I will steal with an E at the end. I will steal myself, my resolve, and I will find the 10 grand a legal way. And then I will invest in this. But this is why it's so important. Anyway, getting back to it. So they've been on a mission to fight the SEC in trying to allow people to invest into the private sector. Now, their Robinhood Ventures is how they're doing it. I don't know what that symbol means, sir. What is that? What is that? So it's a shovel. Oh, darn it. Start digging. Yeah, I got it. I got it. So they have been on a mission to allow their customers to invest in the private sector. Now there's some nuance here, so don't think it takes money to make money, but and the rich get richer. Don't just say that as in, don't just say it with no context because it's cliche. Let me tell you from the business side. I don't fit those metrics as an accredited investor. And let me tell you from the business side why I think it's actually a smart idea. Because listen, look at the credit card debt out here in the US of A today, right? It's at an all-time high. Trillions of dollars of credit card debt out here right now, right? And if that's the case, that tells you most people don't know how to manage their money properly. Most people are $1,000 of an emergency, a financial emergency away from losing it all. Most people live paycheck to paycheck. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, Now, if I had my way, would I make the accredited investor bar so high? Probably not. However, paycheck to paycheck, you shouldn't be investing in stuff, right? Most people's DTI is higher than 43%. I'm going to tell you that right now. And as a business that's trying to get off of the ground, and I need steeled investors who can afford to leave their money, their investment there for 5 years while we build warehouses, acquire land, hire people, while we get all of our infrastructure input. As a business, I want investors that can leave that money there. I don't want Tyrone. I don't want Timmy. I don't want Tammy with 3 T's that are broke because their DTI is 80 to 90% stretched. So they have to live paycheck to paycheck. They need the next paycheck or they lose it all. I don't want their money.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. All right, I'm done. So think about it this way. If they make a bad business move or they see a pair of Jordans, because this is how your broke person lives, they see a Lexus they want to buy. They know they shouldn't have it. They buy it anyway. Now they need their investment back. Their $6,000 they put in their back now because they're going to lose it all because they made a bad move on the deck plates out there in real world life. They're going to pull that money, and you are counting on that money to build infrastructure. So if they pull that money, now you have to raise more. So that, from a business side, that is why they can't have broke people investing in privately owned businesses. I totally understand that. Now, should the bar be $200,000 a year? Should the bar be $1 million in wealth a year? I would dare say no, right? I think the bar should be high, but not that high. Because when you make the bar that high, it starts being the good old boys club. And what you're really doing is you're now locking in the elite, the social elite, the financial elite. You're instead of just making the bar high enough to where you know these people are financially savvy enough and sound enough to leave their investment in there and letting more people through. Now you are, what do they call it when you're standing in the doorway? Gatekeeping. Now you're gatekeeping, right? So Robinhood doing this is amazing. Now, as my brother mentioned in the chat, he talked about Start Engine. And if you've never been on Start Engine, we're going to pause the earnings call right here because this is actually big, because he mentioned something that I was actually going to talk about. And it's I've actually invested on Start Engine. And Start Engine to Robinhood is a real competitor. That's why we're going to talk about it right now. We're not just going to let numbers get rattled off. First and foremost, they partner with this guy. I don't know if he owns it, Mr. Wonderful. What's this guy's name? I've subscribed to his YouTube channel. I can't remember. They call him Mr. Wonderful, but not important. I'll find it on my phone later. But he is so this site right here allows you to invest in startups. That's why it's called Start Engine. They allow you to invest into startups. So companies that Kevin O'Leary, his name's right there, doggone it. Activision co-founder, Activision, if y'all know what that is. So you can invest in companies that are privately held right here. And they do. Look, this is, who is this? Closing in February, previously raised 97 million. What company is this? Am I bugging? Is this Start Engine itself? Maybe it's Start Engine itself. But look, the share price is $1.60. Minimum investment $500. The common man can invest in this. I've used Start Engine to invest in some startups. This is, I think this, if anything, is Robinhood's biggest competitor when it comes to Robinhood Ventures. Okay. I don't bring up JP Morgan Chase or anybody like that when they're talking about the banking side, but I thought this was actually a good time to bring up um, a competitor for something that they are actually doing, because this is another root that's in the ground that's pushing their tree trunk sky high. But there's another root from another tree that's taking nutrients and water and some of the good soil from that root and its start engine. And though I'm a Robin Hood I am pro Robin Hood. I did invest with Start Engine because Robinhood is late to the party, but they're doing a lot of other stuff too. So when they start Robinhood Ventures, I might just go through them, but they have this available right now. I want you to win. I don't care about you raising the Robinhood banner, and I'm not sponsored by Robinhood. I asked, they said, no, I'm not even sure about it. I get it. I'm not a big enough channel yet, but I will all day be a Robinhood, pro Robinhood, but Start Engine is their biggest competition. I can tell you that right now. All right, let's get back to it.
So the big theme here is tokenization. And it's early in the tokenization industry, but we've built a leadership position already. We now have 2,000 stock tokens available to customers in Europe. Now, a big part of 2026 will be seizing the tokenization opportunity, which we think is massive. And this means two things very specifically. One is permissionless 24/7 tradable public company stock tokens. And two, private company stock tokens, making them actually real and useful for customers. Now, our tokenization work dovetails quite nicely with our work on DeFi, which continues to accelerate. Over this year, we'll be launching and scaling Robinhood Chain, which is our layer 2, making it the best chain to trade real-world assets. More on this coming very soon. We'll be continuing to make improvements to Robinhood Wallet, which of course will also provide a first-class experience to Robinhood Chain. And we're also going to be bringing our centralized and DeFi products closer together so that we can deliver the best of both worlds to our customers. You also see us to continue to push into new geographies with several new international markets coming later this year. So before we go to Q&A, I want to share a little more about our progress with AI. So I went in earlier about Cortex, what we're doing to bring Cortex to our customers, both on the mobile app as well as Legend. But we've also made a lot of progress using AI internally. So when we began this journey a couple years ago, it became clear to us that we should double down on two areas that we believe would move the needle the most from AI usage. And they are software engineering and customer support.
Okay.
AI customer support is really cranking. Now, over 75% of our cases are solved by AI, including the complex cases that previously required licensed brokerage professionals. And we've built a lot of this tech in-house.
Wow.
Now, AI and software engineering, this is an area where our goal is to be the best in the world. We've been focusing on making it as easy as possible for our engineers to get access to new model releases and new capabilities like background agents. We're continuing to see nice results. This year, we're continuing to automate and optimize the entire engineering pipeline, from writing code down to code review, all the way to deployment and testing. And this is already turning into real savings and efficiency gains, estimated at 9 figures in 2025 alone. And this is a big reason why we've been able to drive such high product velocity while keeping our costs down. And 2026 is shaping up to be much bigger. So in addition to CX and engineering, I'm pushing every team at Robinhood to integrate AI into their operations, with the goal of being best in class at AI across every function. Now, finally, I think it's worth noting that I started thinking about near-term progress we wanted to make on this vision last summer, and it's meaningfully changed since. The first draft barely had prediction markets. Robinhood Ventures became a real thing, as you know, Shiv, sometime around the second draft. And of course, AI continues to make progress at an accelerating rate, with models and agents getting more capable every day. And I think this shows you that our edge is really staying flexible and nimble. Now, I've been really proud at how fast we move at Robinhood. Looking ahead, you can really expect us to keep that startup hustle despite our large size. So, roadmap is full. There's so much to do. Let's go to some questions.
Oh, Q&A. Let's get it. All right. Now, if you didn't see, every time before earnings call, they always ask the investors to ask questions that they want answered. So I look forward to a couple of these, but you know what? I don't have them in front of me. Let's just get to it.
Back up.
Let's go,
Thank you,
Shiv.
Vlad. Thank you, Shiv. For the Q&A session, we're going to start by answering shareholder questions from Say Technologies. After the Say questions, we'll turn to live questions from our audience. So I'll kick it off with our first question from Say, coming from Matt S.
Matt S is always on
All
here.
right.
Come on, Matt. What are we doing?
Hello, Matt.
Hey, Vlad, how are you? Shiv, nice to meet you.
Good to see you. How you doing?
Good to see
Any
you. So my
update on
question
Robinhood
is,
Social?
Any additional updates on Robinhood Social?
I found this question.
Yeah, Robinhood Social, very, very exciting. As I mentioned, we are testing it internally. We recently added prediction markets, which I think has made it clear this is not just a tool for ideas, but also discovery of new assets. I think one of the reasons why these products have not resonated super well when other companies have tried them is the diversity of content has been relatively low. But now you look at Robinhood, we have so many customers, we have so many assets, the diversity of content is actually quite high. So I think we're building increasing confidence that this is going to be a great tool for discovery and engagement. So marching towards public launch, I think you'll see that in the coming months, but we're pretty close.
All right, so he was nebulous. I was like, is he going to say when? He did not say when. So I think that is also a good leadership move. That's also a good business move. If you're not sure when you can deliver something, do not give a hard date, because you will be beholden to that date. Your investors, your fans, whomever, all of the above, and some people down below, they will definitely hold you to that date. He didn't give it, but I was waiting to hear it. I was hoping it was in there because I have Matt S.'s question. I found it. So when he said the name, I knew it was on here somewhere. He's the third question down, but he just didn't give a date. But I'm waiting on that because I'm going to be all over that. I'm going to tell you right now, with the content I make, I'm going to be all over Robinhood Social. Depending on, I'm going to save what I said. Anyway.
All right. Thank you, Vlad. The next question I'll read on his behalf from Rohit P., who asks, what could be the reasons for the more than 40% drop in Hood's share price?
He's the top
how
question.
How is leadership addressing the downslope?
Yeah, great question.
First of all, Rohit P., 40% drop in Hood share price. I'm going to tell you right now, the whole market is dropping, right? So the whole market is dropping. It's tough to be a company that stays up because there could be certain reasons why, like the government shut down for one. Because you invest, and I know you know. So the government shut down for one is one reason why the market's dropping. Look last year when tariffs were announced, the whole market dropped. It doesn't matter how great your product is, the market is never going to just stay up and up and up and up. So to me, I didn't upvote this question because I didn't think that if you were paying attention to the market, this was a good question. I'm going to let Vlad go ahead and answer it, but I didn't think this was a good question because pay attention, dude. Look at the landscape. Open your eyes. The whole market is dropping. And there are a couple of reasons out there that could be why. Politics always play a role in the market rising and falling. And there's a lot of uncertainty in politics right now too. But if the market was going up, but Robinhood did a 40% drop, then I would think this was a good question. But I didn't upvote this one because of that.
Maybe I'll start. We're really focused on the inputs of our business, and we love the inputs that we're seeing. You heard from me and Shiv last quarter, and really last year was a year of continued market share gains across pretty much everything. Net deposits of 68 billion through the year, 16 billion in the quarter, which means customers are increasingly trusting us with more and more of their assets. And as I look forward to the roadmap of the year, we've got a pipeline of new things that are either in relatively early stages of rollout, such as Robinhood Banking, or have yet to roll out, like Robinhood Social, Cortex Assistant, we think could be transformative. So inputs are looking good, and
it will be.
I've been through this old hat now as a public company founder and CEO for what, 5+ years.
Since July of 21.
We've seen a couple of cycles up and down. We think that over the long run, the business performance tends to lead stock price. So the focus is just on building for customers, making the product better.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Before Shiv talks, you see what he did there? He did not talk about why it fell. He talked about innovation. He talked about implementation. He talked about the history of the company a little bit and where they came from. But he did not talk about why it fell. And I think it's important, dude, just pay attention. The whole market is in a down slope right now, right? And then think about it. I said politics plays a role. Go decades back, you'll see the first 2 years of a presidency is usually the worst 2 years for a market because nobody's certain with who the president is, their politics, the cabinet, all these people they're appointing, how Congress is going to take to them, all that kind of stuff. You'll also see a downturn. Why Invest on here talked about during the midterms. I think he talked about it last week. During the midterms, the market is going to go down because it just happens because with these new people coming in, they don't know their politics and their stance on things. So some people pull their money out of the market. It happens. Or they may sell shares but leave their money in the market, so to speak. But I mean, if they sell their shares, I mean they're pulling out of the market. That's what I mean. Their money might stay there and not get pulled out of their portfolios all the way, but they just wait to see where these people stand on things, and then they put their money back in. It happens. So I just didn't think it was a good question.
We're focused on our customers. The one point I'll add is we also have over $1 billion share repurchase program. And during periods of market volatility, it's a really great time to lean into that program.
See what they did? You see? Because it was honestly, I think it was a dumb question. Sorry, man, Rohit P. Listen, it had 2.4K votes, and it was the most voted question. It was actually number one, but that just means in everybody who's investing money in the market doesn't understand the market. And the number one way to lose something that you deem precious to you is to put it into something that you don't understand. Did y'all get that? So you buy an electric car, you don't understand how it works, you might lose your investment. Or here's a better analogy. You buy a car and don't know how to drive. You're gonna lose your investment. Probably not the best analogy, but don't put your money into something you don't understand. Don't put it into futures trading. Don't put it into trading. Don't put it into Forex if you don't understand it, because you're going to lose your investment. This was the most voted question, so I'll stop saying it was dumb. But obviously, a lot of people had the question. But see what they did? They didn't even answer the question. Excuse me. They didn't answer the question because, dude, pay attention. The whole market's falling. It's not just us.
Yeah.
All right.
Well said.
Thank you for that. And then the last question from Say is from Luke D, who asks, what is your guys' plan on navigating the rough seas during this crypto downturn and the end of football season? How can we see Robinhood extend its roots to not be so heavily affected by these things?
Good question, actually.
Yeah,
Prediction
I mean,
markets.
I'll start with what we're seeing in the product. So crypto, we're moving toward a world where crypto is actually more than an asset class, and it's a foundational technology that's going to underlie the trading of all assets. And you're seeing that with our efforts with tokenization outside the US, and of course the stablecoin partnership with Paxos on USDG. So my belief is that in the future, you'll see crypto and traditional financial services increasingly merge. And of course, people will talk about and trade Bitcoin and other assets, and we continue to be long-term bullish on those. But yeah, if we play our cards right, crypto will be a tool that is going to be important in giving customers what they need, and it'll connect customers to assets that have real fundamental utility. So we're still executing upon that, and we're not getting distracted by short-term fluctuations and what Bitcoin or other assets are doing. Prediction markets. I think there were questions industry-wide about what would happen as the NFL season comes to a close. But what we're actually seeing is surprising us. So in January, for instance, NBA contracts surpassed NFL in trading activity on our platform. And you're also seeing relevant non-sports contracts generating significant volume. For example, in the week after the NFL season ended, the government shutdown contract on our prediction markets platform was like driving significant volume.
Ooh,
So
I didn't
think
know they
over the
had
long
that.
run,
Oh.
what you're going to see is, even though it's now largely sports, prediction markets is more than sports. As
Yes,
we
it
continue
is.
to diversify the contracts offered on the platform and improve the customer experience and refine it, more and more contracts will continue to resonate with our traders. And that's not to mention this year is going to be a big year for sports as well. We've got the Olympics right
That's
now.
right.
We've got the World Cup later.
That's
And
right.
That's in addition to
World
March
Cup is going to be
Madness,
huge
NFL season, and
for prediction
so many
market.
more things. So, yeah, I think we're just the beginning with our prediction markets business.
Yeah, and on the business side, a couple of things I'll add. So as I mentioned before, we now have 11 lines of businesses that are doing over 100 million of ARR. So we continue to diversify there.
Oh, he
On
said
the crypto
11.
front, as Vlad said, we're long-term bullish, but it's important to remember, while we did close to $1 billion of crypto revenue last year, it was only 18% of our overall revenue. So we love what we're seeing, but more than 80% still comes from outside of crypto. And on prediction markets, as Vlad said, it's growing. We're diversifying across sports and non-sports and different asset classes. And while the growth rates are great, again, relative to our overall business, it's a smaller portion. So big picture, we're diversifying, we're keep shipping for customers, and we love both these business lines.
All right, thank you. That concludes our shareholder questions from Say Technologies. Thank you again to Matt for joining us live. Now we'll move to Q&A from our in-person audience. So we asked that
These lucky son of a guns. One of these times, I'm going to figure out how to get up there and see if I can get up to in-person Robinhood call. But I'm going to stop it right here at 46 minutes in. I think we did an hour and 8 minutes on live. And you already know what's going to happen. I'm going to go and break this down in smaller videos because it's still, 50 minutes left, somewhere around there of worth of an earnings call. But I hope you got something from that. If you have seen some of these earnings calls or you've never seen an earnings call and they're using vernacular and acronyms you don't understand, I got New York City in the palm of my hand. No, I'm just kidding. Then let's look this stuff up. Ask questions in the Discord, Google, use AI. Do what you have to do to figure it out. Because I'll tell you what, and I'm not trying to be funny and I'm not trying to be mean, but, if it was something you wanted to purchase, you'd figure out how to purchase it. If it was some vacation you wanted to go on, you'd figure out how to get there. If it was a concert, you'd figure out how to be in a seat. So when they're saying things like PE ratio and you don't know what that is, well, look it up. Yahoo Finance is a great tool to use, and it will break down anything you want it to break down. You can glide over something and push the button, and it will say, oh, this is what this means. Dividend percentage. It'll break that down. It'll break down anything you want to be broken down. So let's not be ignorant of, again, what we're putting our valued money into. Let's understand what we are investing into. Because there's a lot to know for the stock market. And then you got Why Invest on here, and he's the trading guru. And listen, I'm going to tell you right now, that's something I don't fully understand, so I don't do it. I tried it. I was highly successful with Tesla a couple years ago. What was this, 23? I was highly successful with Tesla, but then I started to lose as well because here I am locked up on a ship all day with thick steel walls and I don't have any reception. And by the time I come off the ship, the time I should have sold was a long time ago. It was like an hour ago, 2 hours ago, 5 hours ago. So I started losing too much and I said, nah, I'm done with that. I'll just do leaps. So options, contracts that are 2 years or more. I'll do that. Well, I think a leap is 6 months or more, but I personally do 2 years. Anyway, this has been a great live. I appreciate y'all for joining us again on a Saturday. If you're watching the replay, like, share, subscribe. The biggest thing you could really do is join this Discord, join this community, and bring someone with you. Bring someone with you. You have friends, you have sisters, brothers, loved ones that need this knowledge. Don't just pioneer it for your family and be the only one invested. Get other people in here as well. I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a great weekend. And again, happy Valentine's Day. You invested your Valentine's money, you're going to die. Somebody going to get you. I love my wife and kids, so I take care of them. Okay, fair enough. I don't know what to tell you on that
I
one.
know that was Ramsey that said that. Good luck, buddy.
And the crazy thing is that she comes on the live too. She's here sometimes. Actually, more often than not, she's on here. Y'all just what is I won't say her handle in case she don't want to say it, but she's on here sometimes. Yeah, look, he talking about shush. She's on here sometimes. But I'll let him go deal with that. Y'all have a great Valentine's. Have a great weekend. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later. Just please do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, and bring somebody with you. All right, folks. Forge Gone Cold. I will see you next week.